So here, UFC 309, Bo Nickal, the Phenom, just 6-0, takes on the longtime veteran Paul Craig. He's 17-8, and we're with you until this fight is over. Bo Nickal certainly jumping up levels here in this fight. Gotta say that first and foremost. He's jumping up levels here because Paul Craig is no slouch. I mean, he's not great, but I mean, listen, he's 17-8. He's got great submission ability. This fight is underway, and we'll see if Bo wants to go to the ground, stand and strike, and we'll see how good Bo Nickal really is. As he goes up the ladder, it's going to be harder to finish guys in a minute or two, as we've seen him do several times already. Bo Nickal standing left-handed, Paul Craig standing right-handed, and Paul Craig looking a little jittery, like he's waiting for Bo Nickal to come in, but Bo Nickal's being very patient right now in this first 45 seconds. Nice leg kick by Bo. And he's known for his wrestling, right? But the guy can strike too. And Paul Craig just towers over him. Paul Craig just taking leg kick after leg kick. That's going to get frustrating after a while. But good strategy here by Bo. Bo leaning forward, lands a jab to the body. Paul Craig lands a left. Nice. Now a leg kick. Bo Nickal almost falls. And this is, fighting Bo Nickal is tough for anybody because you got all that hype around him, right? So he's supposed to be really good, and you're kind of just waiting. Is what's going to happen? Something going to happen. And if you can get yourself in there and get any type of confidence and realize, well, hey, I can fight with this guy, that could change everything. But right now, Bo Nickal is landing leg kick after leg kick. So he's certainly got a strategy here to try to slow down Paul Craig. Maybe Bo just fights low, but Paul Craig looks like he's 3 inches taller than Bo. Crowd chanting Bo. They want to see something. But is there a little bit of worry for Bo Nickal to go in for the takedown against a guy like Paul Craig? What's he thinking? Because this is definitely a step up. Paul Craig starting to get some confidence. Looks to me like the jitters are gone and he's starting to move well. And those numbers coming way down already for Bo Nickal, who was, 10, 15 to 1 favorite at some point? And it's amazing, no takedown attempt yet for Bo Nickal. If Bo Nickal did keep winning, it would be interesting when he fights Hamza, how Hamza plays that. Because Bo Nickal's known for having a ground game, but it just doesn't seem to me like right now he's on Hamza's level at all. But there's probably a little bit of nerves here. I mean, this is a big stage for anybody, but especially when you're only 6 fights in to your career. Oh, big right by Bo. Now he switches back to lefty. And the crowd ready to go crazy, right? Because there was finish after finish in the early prelims and prelims. Then all of a sudden you get to the main card and you got two decisions now. So the crowd's ready to see some big left by Bo. Paul Craig smiles. Bo takes an elbow. I still say this is good for Paul Craig, regardless of how this round turns out. It's pretty close right now, though. But Bo's not going for takedowns. You're now both in a stand-up game. And You know, no worry for Paul Craig right now in a close fight. And round two will be highly interesting. Bo doesn't look like the Bo you'd expect, but it's because he's moving up a level. And the difference here, Hamza fights Paul Craig. He's going right in for the takedown, and Paul Craig's getting submitted inside of 2 minutes. So Paul Craig has a ways to go. Yeah, and definitely some worry in Bo Nickal's corner. I mean, they're almost whispering to him to where you can't hear what they're saying. He does not look like he's got that bounce in his step tonight. 16 to 15, Paul Craig in significant strikes. 7 to 4 in head strikes. Going to be if this goes to a decision and we get 2 lopsided rounds between each guy, it's going to come down to an awkward round 1. Who you might as well flip a coin. Jelly roll in the house, okay? Everybody's there. Here we go, round 2, underway. So after this, we got Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler to rematch. Highly interested in that one. It's not as big as when they fought for the title, but big nevertheless. And then, of course, everybody just wants to see what John Jones is going to do. 19-fight unbeaten streak. But before we get there, we're locked in a close fight. Paul Craig now talking to Bo Nickal. Man. That tells me that Paul Craig's confidence is picking up. Bo's not invincible like you thought he might be. Bo lands a left. But nothing flashy for Bo yet, right? I mean, I'm waiting to see the takedown. Where's this elite wrestling ability? Ooh, here we go. Both guys are swinging now. Bo takes a knee to the body as he comes in with a left. Now Bo picking it up a little bit. Both guys in close quarters. I like it. Come on, Bo. What you got? Big right by Bo. Tell you what, Bo's starting to look more like a welterweight to me. I think middleweight might be too high for him. He just looks way smaller than Paul Craig. And Paul Craig's not, you know, a huge middleweight either. And this division is deep right now. Deep. Tell you what, we're more than halfway through this fight, and Bo has not looked impressive at all. And Paul Craig's talking more and more trash, which is very smart when you're facing a guy with just 6 fights. Ooh, big left by Bo. Ooh. Dang, Paul Craig. And this fight is very close. Just not very active by either guy. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this would be a quick night. It's not going to be. Thought Bo would finish him in 2 minutes. And it's anyone's guess who won the first round or really this round. Still a minute 10, minute 15 to prove something. Big left by Bo. There is no way Bo's getting in the octagon right now with Hamza. It's just two different levels. Bo might be leading in this round. He's up 33-30 in significant strikes. He was down coming into the round. But again, very close. Head strikes 13-10 for Paul Craig, 11-11 to the body. And Bo leads 12-6 on leg strikes. It's like neither guy wants to be aggressive. I'm surprised that Paul Craig, getting deeper into this fight, hasn't gotten more aggressive as well. Bo finishes with a left at the bell, so it might be 1-1. And I mean, both corners got to tell their fighter it's a must-win round. So I think Bo probably won round, a close round too, especially with the left at the bell. Paul Craig can't guarantee that he won round one because who knows, so he's down basically 0-1 right now is what we know. Round one is up in the air, so if you're Paul Craig, even though you're not fighting bad, you got to win this round. And I'll be interested to see if something is wrong with Bo Nickal. Like he just doesn't, we haven't seen him enough to know what he's supposed to look like, but he doesn't look like his normal self right now. He looks sluggish from the very beginning. And that's a terrible feeling for an athlete. You're in the heat of competition and you don't feel 100%. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it doesn't look that way. Round three starts with a left jab. Now Bo Nickal picks it up with a big right. Everybody's saying 2018 Bo. I'm not so sure. And there must be a lot of respect there by Bo Nickal. He must have saw something. I mean, the same footage we saw with all the finishes by Paul Craig because he has not gone in for takedowns in this fight. Fans didn't like that. Bo Nickal stood in one spot as Paul Craig walked around him and then smiled at Paul Craig, and the fans kind of booed that. They expected to see more, like Bo Nickal's acting like he won the fight. I mean, we just saw Karine Silva lose a fight in very similar fashion. And that's why you get the end of the fight like Karine Silva did, and you're thinking, oh, I won the first two rounds. Well, you can't guarantee that because when you're dealing with human beings, if they give one guy one round, the first round, you got to do something to also get the second round, right? Because if it's close, you're going to be like, I don't think this fight is 2-0, so I'm going to go 1-1, right? You got to prove something. Big left there by Bo now. And he's got to finish strong to really guarantee a victory. Only 4 head strikes, 2 for Bo in the first round. So I think it's 19-19. And no clear winner in this round. Oh, Paul Craig grabbing his head now. Okay, we got some life from Bo Nickal. Paul Craig a little jittery now. It could just turn into Bo Nickal being super patient in this fight that leads to a TKO or KO. We'll see. But the fans want Bo Nickal to go. You can tell. And another left by Bo. And another. Nice leg kick for Bo Nickal. And I think now Bo Nickal's leading this round. But right now, not the big finish people expected. Even when Bo Nickal landed a nice one against Paul Craig, he didn't go in for the finish. Just being real patient now. 1 minute on the clock. Fans getting jittery. Right? We're approaching a third straight decision. So in a fight that people expected a big finish. So round 1, Craig led 16-15 in strikes. Bo Nickal 21-16 and then second. And Bo Nickal's pulling away a little bit here in the third. So that means it'll be 29-28, maybe a 30-27 for Bo Nickal. So at the end of the day, it'll look like, he won big potentially, but the fact is he didn't. But he is fighting smart. And Bo Nickal's smiling. Crowd chanting overrated. He goes from America real quick to overrated going against the American fighter because they wanted to see a finish. And you're not going to get far with the fans like this. And Bo Nickal finishes swinging. He's likely going to get the win. But the fans are, half-heartedly booing him. And Bo Nickal does a golf swing in front of Trump. But not the big win, big finish that we expected. So here we go, man. It's like we got bad luck on these watch parties with decisions, even in fights that are supposed to be a finish. Bo Nickal was 13-1 to start the fight. So it'll still hold true that he wins, but how many people put down Bo Nickal for first round finish that are frustrated right now? Right? Now Bo Nickal talking to Trump and Elon. Just crazy to see. Just crazy. And they're having like a real conversation. I mean, you literally got the president-elect in the first row. You got the cabinet, some of them in the first row. But of all those guys, right? Vivek, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., who's next to Trump? Elon. And we're getting a look at some of the replay here. And, Bo Nickal did land some big shots. And then there in the third, you see Paul Craig grab his right eye. So, oof. I'm going to say 30-27 or 29-28, but it's definitely a unanimous decision for Bo Nickal after that third round. 50-42 in significant strikes, 21-17 in head strikes. Not great. I mean, not impressive. But he'll be 7-0, right? That's what really matters. Here we go. Boo's still coming out. Bo Nickal can't understand it, but he should. He'll learn. All three, 30 to 27. See, and this is why the fans are going to kind of be like, what? So Bo Nickal did what he had to do to win the fight. He moves to 7-0, and he lifted his hand early, and the ref looked at him. But recognizing, listen, he's only 7 fights into his career, so 30 to 27 across the board. Okay, 7-0. It's the way it goes down. Middleweight division, UFC 309.